Chosen one, listen carefully. God is trying to speak to you right now. 2 minutes left. A huge miracle is coming. This moment will not come again. Don't scroll past. Open this immediately before 11:55 p.m. Don't skip God. This is not random. This is not coincidence. And it is certainly not an accident that you are hearing these words at this exact second. Heaven has been watching the clock. There is a divine countdown in the spirit realm, and your name is written on it. Before 11:55 p.m., something shifts. Something breaks. Something opens. And if you are hearing this, it means you are standing on the edge of a once-in-a-lifetime turning point. Pause your thoughts. Breathe. Because what is about to unfold cannot be repeated. The Lord says, I have tried to get your attention in whispers. Now I am speaking in clarity. For weeks, maybe months, you have felt something unusual. A strange pressure. A tension in the air. Doors closing unexpectedly. Conversations changing tone. People acting differently around you. You thought it was stress. You thought it was coincidence. It was preparation. Heaven does not release a huge miracle into chaos. It prepares the ground first. And right now, as you listen, God is aligning invisible pieces around your life. But here is the urgency. This alignment has a window. A spiritual window. And before 11:55 p.m., a decision in your heart must be made. Will you receive it? Or will you doubt it away? There are only 2 minutes in the spirit for hesitation. I sense this clearly, and Archangel Michael stands as a witness in the spiritual realm. Not as fear, not as force, but as a guardian of divine timing. When heaven marks an hour, Michael stands at the threshold to guard what belongs to God's chosen ones. And tonight, that threshold includes you. You were not scrolling. You were being summoned. Something massive is about to be exposed, not to harm you, but to free you. There has been hidden resistance around your breakthrough. Hidden words spoken against your progress. Hidden envy. Hidden manipulation. But the Lord says, what was whispered in darkness will not survive the light I am releasing. And that light is arriving before 11:55 p.m. Listen carefully. The miracle is not just financial. It is not just relational. It is not just emotional. It is structural and changes the foundation of your life. This moment will not come again in this exact form. Some blessings return. Some opportunities cycle back. But this one, it has a divine timestamp. If embraced, it accelerates your destiny. If ignored, it passes quietly and waits years to reappear in another shape. You have been praying for confirmation. You have been asking, God, are you still with me? This is your answer. The enemy tried to convince you that God went silent. But silence was strategy. Heaven was moving pieces you could not see. Right now, angels are on assignment. Archangel Michael is positioned where warfare tried to delay you. What you thought was delay was actually protection. What you thought was rejection was redirection. And now the clock is ticking toward revelation. Before 11:55 p.m., do not entertain doubt. Before 11:55 p.m., do not speak negatively about your future. Before 11:55 p.m., guard your thoughts like treasure. Because the Lord is responding to the posture of your heart in this very hour. There is a reason this feels urgent. Urgency is not panic. Urgency is divine timing pressing against earthly hesitation. You almost scrolled past this. You almost ignored it. But something told you to open it. That something was not random curiosity. It was the Spirit nudging you. You are closer than you think. In the next moments, something will shift in your atmosphere. It may come as a message, a realization, a sudden peace, an unexpected call, or even a deep internal clarity that changes how you see everything. But here is what you must understand. Miracles often arrive quietly before they become visible loudly. Heaven is asking for your attention for just 2 minutes. Not 2 hours. Not 2 days. 2 minutes of focus. 2 minutes of surrender. 2 minutes of belief. Close your eyes if you can. Whisper, "God, I'm listening." Because He is speaking right now. The reason this moment will not come again is because timing creates power. When divine timing and human obedience meet, explosion happens. Breakthrough happens. Acceleration happens. And I need you to hear this clearly. The battle you have been feeling internally, it ends tonight. The confusion that kept circling your mind, it loses authority tonight. The heaviness that followed you, it breaks before this hour closes. Archangel Michael is not standing idly. He stands where promises are defended, and your promise is under divine defense. But you must choose alignment. This is the narrow doorway moment. Many are called. Few respond immediately. Those who respond without hesitation unlock what others watch from a distance. God is trying to speak to you right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. And heaven is watching your response. Do not treat this lightly. Do not brush it aside. Do not tell yourself, maybe later. Later is not promised. This window is. Before 11:55 p.m., something extraordinary begins. You will look back at this night and say, that was a turning point. And you will realize, this was the exact second everything began to change. Are you ready to hear what God is revealing next? Faithful soul, lean in closer. The atmosphere around you is not ordinary right now. There is movement in places you cannot see. God is not whispering anymore. He is positioning. And when God positions, heaven shifts around one person's obedience. That person, in this hour, is you. You have felt the pressure increasing. Small irritations turning into bigger questions. Delays that made no sense. Sudden distance from people who once felt close. You thought you were losing something. But in truth, God was separating you from what could not enter your next season. There is a miracle forming, and miracles require space. Before 11:55 p.m., something in your spirit must click into place. The Lord is not asking for perfection. He is asking for agreement. Agreement that He is still in control. Agreement that He has not abandoned you. Agreement that what looked like loss was actually divine rearrangement. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of divine order. When confusion tries to invade your thoughts, when fear tries to whisper worst-case scenarios, Michael's assignment is to guard the promise over your life. And tonight, the promise is being defended. You need to understand this deeply. The miracle coming is not random luck. It is a response to tears you cried in private, a response to prayers you thought were unheard, a response to obedience when nobody was watching. Heaven records faithfulness. Here is something that almost derailed you recently. A conversation, a decision, a temptation to give up. You were seconds away from stepping into something that would have delayed your destiny. But somehow, something restrained you. That restraint was not coincidence. That was protection. And now you stand at a spiritual crossroads. One path is Tao. The other is bold trust. Doubt says nothing will change. Trust says, God is moving even if I cannot see it. Before 11:55 p.m., choose trust. Because the miracle will attach itself to belief. Not perfect belief. Not giant faith. Just simple, steady agreement with God's voice. I sense that some of you listening have been asking for a sign. You have said, Lord, if you are speaking, confirm it clearly. This message is that confirmation. Not because of the words alone, but because of the timing. Because of the urgency you feel in your chest right now. Because something inside you knows this is different. God is trying to speak to you right now, and the enemy is trying to distract you at the same time. Notifications. Random thoughts. Sudden fatigue. All small attempts to pull you away from alignment. Do not let distractions steal destiny. The next hour is sacred. Treat it as sacred. If this message is stirring something in your spirit, do not stay silent. Engage with it. When you like this video, when you share it with someone who needs divine confirmation, when you comment what you are believing God for, you are not just interacting with content. You are declaring alignment publicly. You are saying, I receive what heaven is releasing. And when you subscribe and become part of this growing spiritual family, you position yourself consistently under messages that awaken, warn, and prepare you for divine timing. There is power in agreement. There is power in community. Do not underestimate what happens when believers gather around a word from God. But listen carefully, because this is important. The miracle coming is connected to exposure. Something hidden will be revealed. Not to embarrass you, not to harm you, but to clear the path. God cannot bless what is built on illusion. So he exposes quietly before he elevates publicly. Archangel Michael's presence in this season is strategic. Where there has been unseen resistance, there will now be visible justice. Where there were whispers against you, there will be truth that speaks louder. You may feel nervous hearing this. That is natural. Change always feels intense before it feels victorious. Yet the Lord says, do not fear the shaking. I am removing what cannot remain. Before 11:55 p.m., I want you to make a small but powerful act of faith. Speak out loud, even if softly, God, I trust your timing. A declaration seals something in the spirit. It signals readiness. It invites acceleration. Because once this window closes, momentum begins. Something will shift in your relationships. Something will shift in your finances. Something will shift in your internal peace. It may not explode instantly, but it will begin unmistakably. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are positioned. And what happens next will confirm that this moment was not emotional hype. It was divine orchestration. Keep your heart steady. Guard your words. Expect movement. What is about to be revealed will make sense of everything that felt confusing. And when it happens, you will remember this night and realize heaven warned you just in time. The next revelation will go even deeper into what is shifting around you right now. Hold your focus, because what unfolds next connects directly to the miracle that is forming in your life. Precious one, the veil is thinning. What you could not see before is beginning to take shape in the spirit, and this is where everything intensifies. The miracle that is coming is not just an external blessing. It is a divine interruption. It interrupts cycle. It interrupts patterns. It interrupts what the enemy thought would repeat in your life forever. God is trying to speak to you right now, and the reason the timing is so urgent is because exposure is part of the miracle. There has been something operating quietly around you. Blunt, dramatic, not obvious, subtle. A subtle discouragement, a subtle draining of your energy, a subtle delay in progress. You blamed yourself. You questioned your abilities. But heaven says the resistance was never proof of your weakness. It was proof of your calling. Archangel Michael has been assigned to stand at the edge of this transition. Where there was spiritual interference, there is now spiritual enforcement. Michael does not move randomly. He moves when divine order must be restored. And divine order is being restored in your life. Before 11:55 p.m., something clicks into place in the unseen realm. Chains of limitation that tried to define your future begin to loosen. Words spoken against you lose authority. Agreements made in fear lose power. The miracle begins not when you see it, but when heaven authorizes it. And heaven is authorizing it now. You may feel a strange mix of emotions. Excitement, nervousness, even a little restlessness. That is because your spirit recognizes movement before your mind does. Something long delayed is about to accelerate. What felt stuck will begin to flow. What felt blocked will open. But here is the deeper truth. Exposure precedes elevation. There is a person, or perhaps a situation, that has not been fully transparent with you. God is not revealing this to create chaos. He is revealing it to protect your destiny. You cannot step into a higher level while still entangled in hidden traps. So the Lord, in His mercy, brings light. When this exposure happens, do not react emotionally. Respond spiritually. Archangel Michael's presence ensures that what is revealed cannot harm you if you stay aligned. The purpose is freedom, not fear. God says, I am removing what you tolerated because you thought you had no choice. This is the breaking of silent acceptance, the breaking of internal compromise, the breaking of cycles that ran in your family for years. The miracle is generational. It is bigger than one moment. It restructures the pattern of your future. That is why this moment will not come again in this exact way. Timing and readiness are colliding. You have grown. You have matured. You have endured enough to carry what is coming. If this had happened a year ago, it might have overwhelmed you. But now you are prepared. Heaven does not release weight without strengthening shoulders. Before 11:55 p.m., your role is simple but powerful. Agree with God's pruning. If something feels like it is slipping away, let it. If someone begins to distance themselves, release them peacefully. If truth surfaces that surprises you, thank God for clarity. Clarity is mercy. The miracle is not only about what you gain. It is also about what you are freed from. And freedom sometimes arrives disguised as deception. You are stepping into a higher frequency of favor. Not superficial favor. Strategic favor. The kind that aligns rooms you have not entered yet. The kind that makes your name surface in conversations you were never part of. The kind that opens doors without you forcing them. Archangel Michael stands where access is granted. And access is being granted. Right now, I sense strongly that some of you are on the edge of a breakthrough you almost gave up on. You prayed once, twice, 10 times. Then you grew quiet. You stopped expecting. But God did not stop preparing. Before 11:55 p.m., expectancy must return. Whisper again, I receive what you are releasing. Let that settle in your spirit. Let doubt shrink. Let anticipation rise. This is the turning point between survival and acceleration. Something huge is coming, and it carries both revelation and reward. When it manifests, You will understand why certain doors had to close. You will understand why certain relationships shifted. You will understand why delays stretched longer than expected. Because this miracle required precise timing. And now the hour approaches. Do not let cynicism talk you out of faith. Do not let past disappointments define this moment. Every season is not the same. Every delay is not permanent. Every silence is not abandonment. Heaven is moving with intention. Type "I receive the shift" in the comments if this is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 911 is being activated over those who respond in faith before 11:55 p.m. The number 911 in the spirit symbolizes urgent divine intervention. It is heaven stepping into earthly timelines. As you declare agreement, you align yourself with that intervention. Now hear this final instruction for this sacred window. Remain peaceful. The miracle does not require striving. It requires surrender. Let Archangel Michael guard what you cannot see. Let God orchestrate what you cannot control. Everything is aligning. And what begins before 11:55 p.m. will mark the start of a testimony you did not see coming. As this divine shift unfolds, understand that your obedience does not just bless you. It opens doors for countless others searching for hope. When you sow into this mission through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting a channel. You are fueling a harvest of souls. The Lord declares, as you water others, I will water you. This is your moment to act in faith. When you give, you release oil into the lamp of someone else waiting in darkness. I declare that every seed you sow returns as open heavens over your life. Step into this prophetic flow and become a partner in spreading God's living word. Obey the prompting and give now. Beloved warrior of faith, something irreversible has begun. You may not see it with your physical eyes yet, but the shift that was authorized before 11:55 p.m. has already moved into motion. Heaven does not announce what it does not intend to complete. When God marks a moment, that moment carries consequence. And tonight carries consequence for your destiny. There is a quiet rearrangement happening around you. Conversations are being redirected. Decisions are being influenced. Opportunities are being repositioned. What felt random yesterday will start to make sense soon. You are entering the phase where invisible alignment begins to produce visible evidence. This is where many people lose focus. After the intensity of warning and urgency, there is often a calm, a stillness. And in that stillness, doubt tries to whisper, nothing happened. Well, do not fall for that lie. The greatest movements in the spirit are often silent at first. Archangel Michael remains stationed at the threshold of your breakthrough. His assignment is not noise. It is enforcement. What was authorized in the spirit must now manifest in order. And order takes precision. There is something you must understand about miracles. They are rarely chaotic. They are structured. They are intentional. They unfold step by step. The reason this moment will not come again in the same way is because this alignment is unique to who you are right now. Your maturity, your lessons, your endurance have prepared you for this specific release. Had this blessing arrived earlier, it might have crushed you under its weight. But now, you can carry it. You have grown in ways you did not notice. The pain you survived built capacity. The rejection you endured built discernment. The delays you tolerated built patience. And now those qualities are about to support something greater. There is also a separation taking place internally. Old mindsets are losing influence. You are no longer comfortable thinking small. You are no longer satisfied with survival. Something inside you is stretching toward expansion. that stretching is not ambition alone. It is calling. God is elevating your perspective before He elevates your position. As this miracle approaches, you may feel a subtle urge to organize your life, to clear clutter, to reevaluate certain connections, to refine your goals. Do not ignore that urge. It is preparation. When heaven shifts a person, it often inspires earthly adjustments. Archangel Michael's presence ensures protection, but you must cooperate with preparation. There may also be a truth revealed soon that confirms what your intuition has been sensing. Perhaps about a relationship. Perhaps about a professional situation. Perhaps about a hidden opportunity. When it surfaces, do not react impulsively. Observe. Pray. Respond with clarity. Exposure is not meant to destabilize you. It is meant to liberate you. The miracle coming carries both removal and reward. Something exits so something greater can enter. This is divine exchange. Many people resist this stage because they focus only on what is leaving. But you must focus on what is arriving. Before long, you will notice a shift in your confidence. Not arrogance. Confidence. A steadiness in how you speak. A firmness in your boundaries. A peace that does not depend on external validation. That internal shift is part of the miracle. God is not just changing your circumstances. He is upgrading your identity. And identity transformation always precedes visible promotion. You might feel moments of resistance as this happens. Old fears resurfacing briefly. Old insecurities trying one last time to reclaim territory. This is normal. When light increases, shadows attempt to linger. But shadows cannot dominate where light persists. Stay aligned. Spend quiet moments in reflection. Guard your words carefully in the coming hours and days. Speak life even if you do not yet see evidence. Words are seeds. And in this season, seeds sprout quickly. Archangel Michael's assignment also includes guarding your peace. If unnecessary conflict tries to erupt around you, step back. Not every battle requires your voice. Some battles are already handled in realms you cannot see. Trust that. You are transitioning from a season of questioning to a season of confirmation. From a season of striving to a season of receiving. The urgency that marked the earlier hour has now shifted into momentum. Momentum is subtle at first, like the first turn of a wheel. But once it builds, it carries you forward faster than you expected. Be attentive to opportunities that seem small. The miracle may begin disguised as something modest. A simple invitation. A brief conversation. A minor adjustment. Do not overlook small beginnings. They often contain massive outcomes. You are not behind schedule. You are on divine timing. What was delayed was never denied. It was calibrated. As you move forward from this sacred moment, remember that heaven is not reacting to your life. Heaven is orchestrating it. Even when you cannot trace every detail, you can trust the designer. Something irreversible has begun. And you will soon see proof that this was not emotional intensity. It was divine initiation. Prepare your heart. Steady your spirit. The next phase of this unfolding will reveal just how intentional this miracle truly is. Steadfast heart. The evidence is closer than you realize. What began as a spiritual authorization is now moving toward tangible manifestation. You may wake up and sense that something feels different, even if nothing looks different yet. That subtle shift is the first ripple of a greater wave. Do not ignore it. Sensitivity in this season is a gift. There is a reason God pressed urgency into your spirit earlier. It was not to create fear, and was to awaken expectation. Expectation is the soil where miracles root deeply. Without expectation, blessings can arrive and go unnoticed. But you are not unaware anymore. You are watching. You are listening. You are aligned. Archangel Michael remains assigned to the structural integrity of your breakthrough. This means that what comes into your life now will not be fragile. It will not collapse under pressure. It will be built with reinforcement from heaven. The delays you endured were reinforcing beams being installed beneath your future. You must understand something powerful. The miracle is not just about addition. It is about correction. There were elements in your life slightly out of order. Nothing dramatic. Just subtle misalignments. Priorities slightly shifted. Energy invested in the wrong directions. Emotional loyalty given where it was not reciprocated. God saw what you tolerated because you were tired of fighting. Now He's restoring order. When divine order is restored, peace follows. Not temporary relief, but deep peace. A peace that feels like breathing freely after being tense for too long. That peace is coming. You may notice certain people reacting differently toward you in the coming days. Some will feel drawn to you. Others may seem distant or uncomfortable. Do not chase either reaction. Your frequency is changing. And when your spiritual frequency shifts, not everyone can remain comfortable around you. This is not loss. It is sorting. Archangel Michael's protective stance ensures that anything leaving now was never meant to stay in the next chapter. Trust that removal is mercy. There is also a financial or vocational element tied to this miracle for many of you. An opportunity that once seemed unreachable may subtly come within reach. Or a solution to a lingering problem may present itself in an unexpected way. When it does, act with calm confidence. Do not sabotage it with disbelief. You have prayed for expansion. Expansion requires courage. Fear may whisper, what if it fails? But faith answers, what if it succeeds beyond imagination? God is trying to speak to you right now through momentum, through alignment, through subtle confirmations, a repeated word, a recurring idea, a scripture that keeps surfacing. Pay attention to patterns. Heaven often repeats before it releases. There is also healing unfolding beneath the surface. Emotional wounds you carried quietly are being soothed. Memories that once triggered pain are losing their intensity. You are not as fragile as you once were. That is growth. That is restoration. The miracle includes restoration of strength. You survived a season that was meant to break you. That alone proves there is purpose attached to your life. If you were ordinary, the opposition would not have been so persistent. A resistance confirmed the value of your calling. And now resistance is weakening. You may feel an urge to forgive someone unexpectedly, or to release resentment you held tightly. Follow that prompting. Forgiveness clears internal space for greater blessings. It does not excuse behavior. It frees your heart. Archangel Michael stands guard not only against external interference but against internal sabotage. Bitterness, fear, insecurity, these cannot cross into your next level if you surrender them now. A miracle coming is not loud at first. It unfolds like sunrise. Gradual. True. Unstoppable. Before long, you will have a conversation that feels different from recent ones. A tone of respect. A tone of opportunity. A tone of recognition. That moment will confirm that the tide has turned. You are stepping into visibility. Not for ego. Not for applause. But for assignment. There is something you carry that others need. Wisdom from survival. Faith from endurance. Insight from experience. Your testimony will not remain hidden. But first, stabilization. Stay grounded in gratitude, even for small improvements. Gratitude accelerates manifestation. Complaining delays it. Choose carefully what you amplify with your words. Archangel Michael's presence signifies that this transition is protected, but protection does not eliminate responsibility. You must steward what is being released. Manage it wisely. Honor it. Do not treat it casually. This moment truly will not come again in this exact configuration. Timing, readiness, alignment, these three rarely synchronize so perfectly, and yet they have synchronized for you. You are not lucky. You are positioned. Continue walking calmly. Continue believing quietly. Continue expecting steadily. What unfolds next will reveal just how strategic this entire sequence has been, and you will begin to see that the urgency, the exposure, the alignment, all of it was leading to a revelation far greater than you imagined. Awakened soul, this is where acceleration begins to feel real. Up until now, much of what has shifted hath been internal and invisible. But you are about to notice movement that cannot be dismissed as coincidence. A door that seems sealed will loosen. A response you were waiting for will arrive. A tension that lingered will suddenly dissolve. These are not random events. They are evidence of divine orchestration unfolding on schedule. God is trying to speak to you right now through alignment that looks natural but is deeply supernatural. What appears ordinary on the surface carries fingerprints of heaven beneath it. Do not underestimate subtle breakthroughs. Sometimes the greatest miracles arrive disguised as simple progress. Archangel Michael remains positioned where resistance once stood. The opposition that tried to intimidate you has lost ground. You may even sense that situations which once drained you no longer have the same effect. Conversations that used to unsettle you now feel manageable. That shift is not self-improvement alone. It is spiritual reinforcement. You have crossed an invisible threshold. There is a strengthening happening in your voice. You will speak with more clarity. You will say no without guilt. You will say yes without fear. Confidence rooted in divine timing is rising inside you. That confidence is part of the miracle. But here is something critical. As acceleration increases, distractions may also attempt to increase. Not dramatic distractions. Small ones. Time-wasting conversations. Negative thoughts trying to reintroduce old insecurities. Invitations that look appealing but subtly pull you off focus. Stay alert. Acceleration requires discipline. Archangel Michael's role is protection, but your role is attention. Guard your energy carefully in the coming days. Where you invest your attention determines how smoothly this breakthrough unfolds. You may also notice that certain prayers are being answered in ways you did not expect. Perhaps not exactly how you imagined, but in a way that fits better than your original request. That is because God sees beyond immediate desire. He responds according to long-term destiny. Trust the form of the blessing, even if it surprises you. There is also restoration taking place in your reputation. Where you were misunderstood, clarity is emerging. Where you were underestimated, recognition is forming. You do not need to defend yourself aggressively. Time and truth are aligning in your favor. This is the stage where faith must remain steady. When evidence begins to appear, some people relax too soon. They stop praying. They stop guarding their words. They assume the battle is fully over. But momentum must be sustained. Stay spiritually engaged. Speak gratitude daily. Acknowledge the progress, even if it feels small. Gratitude strengthens acceleration. And if this message is resonating deeply with you, do not keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs confirmation that their season is shifting. When you like this message, when you comment what breakthrough you are believing for, when you subscribe and become part of this growing movement of faith, you are not just supporting a video. You are amplifying a prophetic signal. You are helping someone else hear what they almost missed. There is power in agreement. There is power in unity. And there is power in publicly declaring, I receive what God is doing in my life. Make sure you remain connected here, because what is unfolding next builds directly on this momentum. You will want to stay aligned as the next layer of revelation is unveiled. The acceleration has only begun. Now listen carefully. A significant confirmation is approaching. It may arrive through a person of influence. It may arrive through documentation, approval, or an unexpected opportunity. When it does, it will feel like relief and excitement at the same time. That emotional mixture will be your sign. Archangel Michael's assignment ensures that what belongs to you cannot be stolen. Delayed perhaps. Tested maybe. But not stolen. You are stepping into a season where effort produces visible reward. Where obedience produces noticeable progress. Where endurance produces tangible outcome. You not shrink back now. The miracle is no longer forming. It is unfolding. Continue protecting your peace. Continue choosing trust over fear. Continue aligning your words with promise rather than doubt. Very soon, you will look at your life and recognize a distinct before and after. And you will know that this was a dividing line. This was the moment acceleration became undeniable. Stay focused. Stay grateful. Stay ready. Because what is about to surface next will confirm that heaven has been working more strategically than you ever imagined. Anointed listener, the confirmation you have been waiting for is beginning to crystallize. Acceleration is no longer subtle. It is becoming recognizable. What once felt like fragile hope is turning into structured reality. You are not imagining the shift. You are living inside it. God is trying to speak to you right now through convergence. Separate pieces of your life that once seemed disconnected are starting to align. Conversations are connected. Ideas are linking together. Opportunities are intersecting with preparation. This is not chaos. This is divine choreography. There is a powerful truth you must understand in this hour. When heaven accelerates a person, it does not merely increase speed, it increases precision. Every step becomes intentional. Every delay that once frustrated you is revealed as protection. Every closed door is exposed as redirection. Archangel Michael remains present at the gates of your transition. His role now is not only protection but stabilization. Rapid growth without stability leads to collapse. But what is being built around you is fortified. You will not rise only to fall. You will rise and remain. You may begin to notice that your discernment is sharper. Situations that once confused you now feel clear. Motives that were once hidden are easier to read. Decisions that once required long hesitation now feel straightforward. This clarity is part of the miracle. Clarity is power. There is also a subtle emotional healing happening alongside the outward progress. You are less reactive, less defensive, less anxious. Situations that would have triggered fear a month ago now meet a calmer version of you. A transformation is not accidental. It is preparation for stewardship. Because what is coming requires maturity. The miracle forming in your life is not a temporary blessing. It carries longevity. It carries influence. It carries responsibility. and heaven does not release responsibility without readiness. You are ready. There may be one final moment of testing, a situation that seems to challenge your confidence, a comment that attempts to provoke doubt, an old memory resurfacing briefly. Do not interpret this as regression. It is confirmation. When you are about to step into something greater, remnants of the old season often attempt one last appearance. Stand steady. Archangel Michael's presence ensures that this testing cannot overpower you. It is only a shadow of what once intimidated you, and you will respond differently now. With calm, with discernment, with quiet authority. Pay attention to unexpected favor. Someone may speak well of you in a room you are not in. Someone may recommend you without you asking. Someone may recognize your value without you proving it. That is divine advocacy. You no longer have to strive for visibility. Visibility is approaching you. God is also refining your communication. The way you express yourself will carry more weight. The way you articulate ideas will attract attention. This is not about ego. It is about assignment. There is a message within you that needs a platform, and platforms are being prepared. Do not shrink in this season. Do not downplay your growth. Humility does not require hiding your progress. It requires honoring the source of it. Acknowledge that what is unfolding is God's orchestration, and walk confidently within it. There is also financial alignment strengthening for many of you. Stability replacing uncertainty. Strategy replacing confusion. You may find yourself thinking more long-term, planning more wisely, and managing resources with greater clarity. That is divine wisdom settling in. A miracle is not chaotic abundance. It is structured increase. You will begin to sense that your time is being valued differently. Your input is being sought. Your presence is being respected. This shift may feel unfamiliar at first. Do not self-sabotage it by assuming it will disappear. It will not disappear. Archangel Michael's continued guarding ensures that what is meant for you remains anchored. What tries to disrupt it will fail quietly. As momentum builds, remember this. Do not abandon the spiritual discipline that carried you here. Continue praying. Continue reflecting. Continue guarding your words. Acceleration without grounding can distort perspective, but you are capable of balance. Very soon, you will see a tangible marker of this shift. Something measurable. Something visible. Something undeniable. And when that marker appears, it will confirm that this entire sequence of urgency, exposure, alignment, and acceleration was not imagination. It was divine planning. You are stepping into a season where you no longer question whether God is speaking. You will recognize His fingerprints clearly. Stay receptive. Stay steady. Stay grateful. Because what unfolds next will not only confirm your breakthrough, it will reveal the greater purpose behind why this miracle had to arrive at this exact moment in your life. Favored one, the purpose behind the miracle is now coming into focus. What you thought was only about relief is actually about assignment. What you thought was only about breakthrough is actually about positioning. God is trying to speak to you right now, not just about what you are receiving, but about who you are becoming through it. The acceleration, the exposure, the alignment, none of it was random. It was preparation for influence. You have entered a space where your decisions will carry greater weight. Your words will carry greater authority. Your presence will shift atmospheres in subtle but undeniable ways. This is not exaggeration. It is elevation. Archangel Michael stands not only as guardian, but as witness to this promotion. Promotion in the spirit is not like promotion in the world. It is not announced with noise. It is recognized by impact. And your impact is about to expand. You may begin to notice that people listen differently when you speak. They observe more closely. They seek your input. This is because something in you has stabilized. You are no longer operating from desperation. You are operating from alignment. Alignment produces quiet authority. There is also a divine strategy unfolding concerning your environment. Some of you will feel led to shift locations, rearrange priorities, or restructure routines. Do not resist this instinct. When heaven promotes a person, environment must sometimes adjust to support that promotion. The miracle you experienced with the doorway. What comes next is the corridor, and the corridor leads to purpose. There is someone connected to your future who is about to cross your path. This connection is strategic. It may be professional. It may be spiritual. It may be collaborative. When it happens, it will feel natural, but the timing will be precise. Recognize it. Archangel Michael's continued presence ensures that counterfeit connections lose access. What is approaching you now carries authenticity. You may also sense a stronger desire to serve, to give, to contribute beyond yourself. That desire is evidence that your heart has expanded. Miracles that are truly from God do not make a person selfish. They make a person generous. Generosity is a sign of maturity. This is why the miracle had to arrive at this stage in your life. Earlier versions of you might have mismanaged it. But now, you see beyond immediate gain. You see legacy. You see impact. There is a sacred responsibility attached to what you are receiving, and heaven trusts you with it. Do not let fear of visibility hold you back. You are not being elevated for ego. You are being elevated for assignment. Others will find courage because you walked through fear. Others will find clarity because you endured confusion. Others will find hope because you survived delay. Your story is becoming a bridge. Archangel Michael stands as protector of the testimony. What you overcame will not be erased. It will be refined and used. As you move forward, remain deeply rooted in humility. Promotion can test character, but you have already been tested in obscurity, and you passed. That is why visibility is now safe for you. Expect one more significant confirmation that seals this entire season. It may come as a clear opportunity. It may come as a public acknowledgement. It may come as an internal peace so strong that doubt finally goes silent. When it happens, you will know this was the culmination of everything heaven prepared. God is not finished speaking to you. This moment was not the end of urgency. It was the beginning of purpose. Type "I step into purpose" in the comments if this message confirms what your spirit hath been sensing. Blessing code 818 is now released over those who respond in faith. The number 818 represents new beginnings built on spiritual foundation. As you declare agreement, you align yourself with sustained favor and protected promotion. Now understand this deeply. What you have received must be stewarded. Guard your mindset. Guard your gratitude. Guard your integrity. The same discipline that carried you through delay will carry you through elevation. Archangel Michael remains vigilant, but your cooperation remains essential. Everything you walked through was building toward this corridor of purpose. And what unfolds next will not only impact your life, it will ripple into lives you have not even met yet. As you step into this corridor of purpose, hear this clearly. Your seed can become someone else's breakthrough. When you release support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into a river that carries God's voice to souls standing at their own 11:55 p.m. moment. The Lord says, "Give, and it shall be given back to you, pressed down and overflowing." This is not a transaction. It is a prophetic act. When you sow, you ignite lamps in places you may never see, but heaven records every spark. I declare that every giver in this season will experience accelerated clarity and protected increase. Let your generosity echo the miracle you just received. Act now and become a carrier of this divine assignment. Steady heart, you are now walking inside the evidence of answered prayer. What once felt prophetic now feels practical. What once sounded like a warning now looks like wisdom. You are beginning to see with clarity that nothing in this journey was exaggerated. Every urgency had purpose. Every exposure had intention. Every delay had design. God is still speaking to you right now, but the tone has shifted. It is no longer urgent correction. It is strategic direction. You have crossed from breakthrough into building. This is the stage where many people become distracted by comfort. Relief arrives and focus weakens. But you are not called to temporary relief. You are called to sustained influence. The miracle was not the destination. It was the invitation. Archangel Michael remains near, not because danger surrounds you, but because responsibility does. What you carry now must be guarded with maturity. Influence attracts attention. Growth attracts observation. Favor attracts both support and subtle envy. Do not let that unsettle you. Protection is already assigned. You may begin noticing that your circle naturally adjusts. Some connections will deepen. Others will fade without drama. This is not loss. It is refinement. Your environment must match your elevation, and elevation requires alignment. There is also a strengthening of intuition happening within you. You will sense when something is right without needing excessive confirmation. You will feel when something is misaligned without needing evidence. A sensitivity is spiritual intelligence. Trust it. You have prayed for wisdom more than you realized, and wisdom is now active in your decision-making. This stage requires intentional structure. Organize your time. Clarify your priorities. Remove unnecessary distractions. What once could be casual must now be strategic. Not because you are under pressure, but because you are under purpose. Archangel Michael's continued watch signifies that you are not navigating this alone. When subtle opposition attempts to whisper doubt, it will not penetrate the stability you have built. You are stronger now, more grounded, less reactive. There may also be a moment where someone acknowledges your growth directly. They may say you seem different, more confident, more peaceful, more focused. Receive that confirmation without shrinking. It is evidence of transformation. The miracle you experienced was not only external. It reshaped your internal landscape. You no longer panic the way you used to. You no longer overthink every possibility. You are learning to respond rather than react. It is power. And with power comes responsibility. Be mindful of your words in this season. Your voice carries weight. Speak carefully about your future. Speak carefully about others. Speak carefully about yourself. Words now plant seeds that grow faster than before. You may also notice that opportunities begin to seek you instead of you chasing them. Invitations, proposals, ideas. This shift is significant. It confirms that your value is being recognized without you forcing it. Do not rush decisions out of excitement. Evaluate calmly. Pray consistently. Act confidently. God is not finished expanding your territory, but expansion must be sustainable. Archangel Michael's assignment includes guarding sustainability. What grows too fast without foundation collapses, but what grows with structure endures. You are building something that will last. There is also a quiet joy emerging within you. Not loud celebration, not dramatic emotion, just steady contentment. That contentment is a sign that alignment has taken root. When a person is aligned with divine timing, anxiety decreases naturally. Hold on to that peace. If a challenge arises, and it may, approach it differently than before. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" That shift in perspective protects your momentum. You are no longer surviving storms. You are navigating seasons. And this season carries promise. The urgency of 11:55 p.m. marked the doorway. The exposure cleared the path. The acceleration moved you forward. The promotion positioned you. Now building begins. Do not underestimate this phase. It determines longevity. Archangel Michael stands not as a symbol of fear, but as assurance. Assurance that what God started will not be abandoned halfway. Assurance that what was revealed will not revert into confusion. Assurance that what was promised will not evaporate. Continue walking with humility. Continue speaking with wisdom. Continue guarding your peace. Very soon, another layer of purpose will unfold. Not just about what you are building, but about who you are becoming through the building. And when that layer reveals itself, you will realize that the miracle was only the foundation of something far greater than you originally imagined. Focused one. This is the stage where refinement sharpens what breakthrough began. You are no longer questioning whether God moved. You are seeing the results. But now comes a deeper layer of growth. Not louder, not more dramatic, more precise. God is trying to speak to you right now about stewardship. Breakthrough without stewardship fades. Favor without discipline weakens. Opportunity without structure slips away. But you have not come this far to lose what heaven carefully aligned for you. This is the season of intentional refinement. You may feel a heightened awareness of how you spend your time. Certain habits will start to feel out of place. Certain conversations will feel unproductive. Certain environments will feel misaligned. That discomfort is not judgment. It is elevation. Archangel Michael remains stationed at the gates of your progress, ensuring that sabotage does not enter unnoticed. But refinement requires your participation. Protection cannot replace discipline. There may be subtle temptations to revert to old comfort zones, old coping mechanisms, old patterns of procrastination. Not because you are weak, but because growth stretches you. And stretching can feel unfamiliar. Do not shrink back. This is the stage where your character is polished, where integrity is tested quietly, where consistency becomes more important than intensity. You no longer need dramatic spiritual highs. You need steady obedience. There is also a new level of clarity forming around your long-term vision. You are beginning to think beyond immediate wins. You are asking deeper questions. Where am I going? Who am I becoming? What legacy am I building? Those questions signal maturity. Archangel Michael's presence in this phase is subtle but powerful. His assignment now is guarding continuity. What was initiated must continue. What was accelerated must stabilize. What was exposed must remain in the light. You may notice that your tolerance for negativity has decreased. Gossip feels heavier. Complaints feel draining. Chaos feels unnecessary. This is not arrogance. It is refinement of appetite. As your appetite changes, your environment will naturally adjust. If this message is strengthening you, do not keep silent. Engage with it. Comment what area of your life you are refining in this season. Share this with someone who is stepping into their own breakthrough. Subscribe and remain connected so you continue receiving alignment for every stage of growth. There is a reason you are here right now. Stay aligned as the next revelation unfolds, because what is coming builds directly on this refinement. And now listen closely. There is a leadership quality emerging within you. Even if you do not hold a formal title, people are observing how you handle pressure. They are watching how you respond to setbacks. They are noticing your calm. Leadership is not declared. It is demonstrated. God is shaping you into someone who can carry influence responsibly. That requires pruning. Not removal of blessing, but trimming of excess. You may feel prompted to simplify. Simplify routines. Simplify commitments. Simplify distractions. Complexity can dilute focus, and focus is critical in this phase. Archangel Michael's guarding ensures that external attacks cannot easily disrupt you, but internal clutter must be cleared by you. There is also an increase in discernment regarding opportunities. Not every open door is your door. Not every invitation is aligned with your calling. Choose carefully. Your yes now carries greater consequence. You may encounter a moment where you must choose between comfort and calling. Comfort will feel safe. Calling will feel stretching. Choose calling. Growth always feels slightly uncomfortable before it feels natural. Remember how urgent the beginning felt. That urgency was not emotional hype. It was divine initiation. You are now in the maintenance phase of that initiation. This is where longevity is secured. Continue speaking gratitude daily. Continue acknowledging progress. Continue guarding your integrity even in small matters. Small compromises weaken large promises. You are not under pressure. You are under preparation. Soon, you will see a reflection of yourself and realize how much you have changed in such a short time. Your thinking is clear. Your emotions are steadier. Your reactions are wise. That is refinement in action. Archangel Michael remains vigilant, but your cooperation determines depth. The miracle opened the door. Promote and position you in the corridor. Now refinement prepares you for sustained impact. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. Stay humble. Because what unfolds next will reveal the greater expansion attached to your obedience in this season of refinement. Enduring one, expansion is no longer approaching. It is arriving. You have walked through urgency. You have endured exposure. You embraced acceleration. You accepted promotion. You submitted to refinement. And now, what was being built internally is about to expand externally in a way that cannot be contained. God is trying to speak to you right now about territory. Not just physical territory. Influence. Capacity. Reach. The boundaries of your thinking are stretching again, but this time it feels different. It does not feel like pressure. It feels like readiness. There is a widening happening around your life. Opportunities that once felt out of reach are now realistic. Rooms that once felt intimidating now feel accessible. Conversations that once felt beyond your level now feel natural. This is not imagination. This is elevation settling into identity. Archangel Michael stands as guardian at the edge of this expansion. If anything attracts attention, and attention can bring both emery and challenge. But you are not stepping into this alone. Protection continues as promotion increases. You may sense a new boldness rising in you. Not loud confidence, but steady assurance. You no longer second-guess every move. You no longer replay every conversation in your mind. You move with clarity and allow outcomes to unfold without panic. That shift is powerful. There is also restoration happening in areas that once seemed permanently damaged. Relationships that felt strained may soften. Respect that was missing may return. Or perhaps entirely new connections will form that reflect the healthy version of you. Expansion often replaces what was lost with something better aligned. Be attentive to moments that feel symbolic. A specific date. A particular conversation. A sudden realization. These moments will serve as markers. Evidence that you have crossed into a new chapter. You may also notice that your tolerance for small thinking has completely dissolved. You cannot go back to shrinking yourself. You cannot return to minimizing your vision. Growth has changed your appetite permanently. This is a sign that expansion is not temporary. Archangel Michael's continued presence signifies that what is expanding will not overwhelm you. Growth without support can feel chaotic. But what is unfolding in your life is structured expansion. You are not being stretched beyond capacity. Your capacity has increased. There is also a deeper spiritual awareness forming. You are quicker to sense divine nudges, quicker to pause before reacting, quicker to pray before deciding. That sensitivity will protect you as your influence widens. Expansion requires wisdom more than enthusiasm. You may encounter individuals who are drawn to your stability. They may seek advice. They may ask how you navigated your season. Do not dismiss these moments. Your testimony is becoming instruction for others. The miracle that began before 11:55 p.m. was not isolated to you alone. It was a ripple effect. You are becoming a reference point. There may also be financial or professional degrees attached to this expansion. Greater responsibility, greater visibility, greater expectation. Receive it with humility and structure. Do not rush to prove yourself. Let consistency speak. Archangel Michael stands where pressure attempts to distort perspective. If expectation rises around you, do not let it create anxiety. Stay anchored in the same spiritual discipline that carried you here. Remember, expansion is not about ego. It is about impact. You will likely notice one defining moment soon that confirms this new territory. A decision finalized. A recognition made public. A door opened officially. When it happens, pause and reflect. Acknowledge how far you have come. Because you have come far, you are no longer the person who almost scrolled past divine instruction. You are the person who responded, who aligned, who endured, who refined, who expanded. And this expansion is only the beginning. Stay grounded. Stay grateful. Stay discerning. The final layer of this journey will reveal the full circle of why urgency was necessary, why exposure was mercy, why acceleration was strategic, why promotion was timed, and why refinement was essential. Everything is about to make complete sense. And when it does, you will realize that this was never just about a miracle. It was about transformation that positioned you for a destiny you are now strong enough to carry. Chosen vessel, this is the full circle moment. Everything that began with urgency has now revealed its purpose. The warning was not to alarm you. It was to awaken you. The countdown was not about fear. It was about focus. The miracle was not about temporary relief. It was about permanent transformation. God was trying to speak to you right now from the very beginning, and now you understand why. Before 11:55 p.m., something shifted in the unseen. But what truly shifted with you? Your awareness changed. Your obedience activated. Your discernment sharpened. Your confidence stabilized. The miracle was real, yes, But the greater miracle was your alignment. You are no longer the person waiting for rescue. You are the person walking in authority. Archangel Michael has stood as guardian throughout this entire transition, not as a symbol of battle alone, but as a witness to your promotion. Where there was once interference, there is now order. Where there was once confusion, there is now clarity. Where there was once delay, there is now divine rhythm. Look at how far you have come. The exposure that once felt intimidating became liberation. The acceleration that once felt overwhelming became momentum. The refinement that once felt stretching became strength. The expansion that once felt uncertain became territory. Now you stand in stability. This moment will not come again in the same way because you will never again be the same version of yourself who first heard the warning. You responded. You stayed. You aligned. And that response altered your timeline. There is something powerful about obedience in critical moments that creates spiritual landmarks. Years from now, you will look back at this season and recognize it as the turning point. Not because everything changed overnight, but because you did. God is still speaking, but now the tone is partnership. He is not pulling you out of chaos. He is walking with you into calling. You may still face challenges. Growth does not eliminate resistance completely. But now you face challenges differently. You are anchored. You are aware. You are protected. Archangel Michael's presence remains, but you no longer need dramatic reminders of protection. You carry peace as evidence of it. This was never about superstition. It was about sensitivity. It was about recognizing when heaven presses in close and choosing not to ignore it. And you did not ignore it. Now hear this clearly. What you carry from this season is transferable. The clarity you gained can guide others. The strength you built can inspire others. The discipline you developed can stabilize others. You were not awakened just for yourself. There are people connected to your future who will need the version of you that emerged from this process. They will need your steadiness. They will need your testimony. They will need your wisdom. And you are ready. Do not downplay what happened here. Do not reduce it to coincidence. Divine timing met human obedience. That intersection created breakthrough. Type "I will not miss my moment" again in the comments if you receive this final confirmation. Blessing code 1212 is now activated over your path. The number 1212 represents alignment and divine order established on earth as it is in heaven. As you declare it, you seal this season with awareness and authority. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with humility. Walk forward knowing that when God tries to speak, you now recognize His voice. A miracle came. The moment arrived, and you did not scroll past it. As this journey comes full circle, understand this. Your obedience has the power to open heaven's voice for someone else standing at their own critical hour. When you release support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into fertile ground where God's word becomes light in darkness. The Lord says, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease, and today your seed becomes someone else's miracle before their 11:55 p.m. moment. This is not charity. This is covenant participation. When you give, you release soil that keeps this lamp burning for souls searching for confirmation. I declare that every seed sown into this mission returns as multiplied favor, guarded increase, and divine acceleration over your life. Step into this prophetic act of generosity and partner with heaven's assignment. Sow now and seal your alignment.